In need of a helping hand, Mitanyan Cooperative Credit Union is here for you. Mitanyan Cooperative Credit Union is a dynamic people-owned savings and loans cooperative society operated on sound cooperative and business principles. Are you looking for a secured place to save money with a monthly interest, receive salaries, or take loans at reasonable rates of interest? Mitanyan Cooperative Credit Union provides you with required quality and affordable financial products and services which will not only meet but exceed your expectations. The services of Mitakul are open for personal accounts as well as Njangi groups, village councils, churches, schools, developmental organizations, clubs, and many more. Mitakul makes it easy to open minor accounts for your children from the day of birth. Mitanyan Cooperative Credit Union has recently launched its Momo Cash service, which allows users to obtain small loans for daily use, either for airtime, data, or even mobile money. After 22 years of existence, Mitakul remains the focal point of the entire Kamkul network in terms of its level of digitalization and exponential growth. Do not be left behind. Become a member of Mitakul today and benefit from all these advantages. Visit our agencies in Yaoundé, Douala Aqua, Bonamusadi, Village, Andobo, Bafusam, Boya, Mamfe, Limbe my 4.5 mile, Pinin, Santa, Bamenda Food Market, or our head office in Bamenda at Sonak Street. We are open every weekday as from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. and 12 noon on Saturday. At Mitakul, save regularly, borrow wisely, and repay promptly.
Hello, good evening, televiewers. Welcome to Prime Hour, the last edition for this week. We are very sorry for the late start. At times we make machines, we make plans, but the machines disappoint us, or maybe most of the panelists also are caught in traffic. Reason why we are starting very, very late. We are deeply sorry for this late start. We this evening going to be looking at this question that is asked by many persons. Many young Cameroonians want a change very badly, but they are scared of politics. Who do they expect to change things in Cameroon? We also are going to be looking at the situation of the National Solidarity Fund for COVID-19. The President of the Republic actually called Cameroonians to assist gather resources to fight COVID-19. We are also going to be asking the question, who actually manage the funds and why the secrecy in rendering accounts to Cameroonians. Cameroonians put money together to fight this virus, but they are yet to be told in clear terms how the resources put together were put into use. This evening in the studio already, Prince Joel Mukage, who is a journalist, is already here with us. Good evening, welcome.
Good evening to you, Mr. Liu. Good evening to my co-panelists, and good evening to the million Cameroonians who take time, energy, and other things to watch programs on my Media Prime, most particularly my Media Prime Hour. I want to send special greetings to those who are watching in the Northwest and the Southwest region, precisely the peace-loving people of Mr. J subdivision in Donga Mountain.
Okay, we also are in the company of Reverend Mrs. Jokem Quinivet. She is the National Secretary for Justice, Peace and Human Rights for the Popular Action Party, and also the President Founder of Queen's Foundation. She's participating on this program for the first time. Good evening, welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leo. I like calling you just Leo. Thank you for having me on your panel this hour of the day. Good evening to the Prince himself. It's an honor to share ideas and exchange ideas with you. I want to say a powerful good evening to the President of the PAP, Mr. Njangdeni Stabe, I know that he's watching right now, to Fabrice Lena, the Secretary General of the PAP, to Mr. Njine Elvis, the National Communications Secretary, and I will not forget to say hello to Reverend John Numbe Nwafo, he's in the Southwest region, and Reverend Tato Kenneth, and then my family and the youths of this nation that are watching.
We also expecting Dr. Simo Marcel to be on this panel this evening, representing the CPDM party, as well as Ncha Roland Moi, the national president of the United Cameroon Party for Peace. And we also are expecting Kudi Ihims, who is a very strong member of Cameroon civil society. They are all caught in traffic. We hope they join us so that we can have a wonderful discussion this evening. Now, the youths are eager to see things turn around, but do not know what to do, seemingly. Are they ignorant of what they have to do to cause the change that they hope for in Cameroon?
I don't think so, Mr. Leo. Cameroonians, and most particularly the youths, are conscious, and that is why each time you hear Cameroonians saying that they need change, because the youths are the leaders of tomorrow. But I think where the problem is the political terrain. The political terrain here, I mean that the country and politics in Cameroon is carved in such a way that if you're not of a certain age, they feel that you've not grown up enough to take certain decisions. You will agree with me that even with the ruling political party that is in government now, the CPDM, it's difficult. Once you join the party, they believe that you are still a student. They need to mentor you. They need to teach you. And at times, those teaching take not less than 10, 15 years. Now, if somebody is already 30 and plus, like myself, and I join a political party, and they say I need 15 or 10 years for mentorship, then I'll only be exposed around 50 or 55. So that is the first aspect. The second aspect, Mr. Leo, is the fact that the few youths who are daring, when I see people like her, I'm extremely happy. I feel that the change that Cameroonians are waiting for is not far. When I see people like my very good friend Fabrice Lena in the far north, in Boya, in Bamenda, in Limbe, I tell myself that really youths are beginning to gain consciousness. But the question I keep asking myself is, how far? I've seen young guys who've had their dreams crushed in the political landscape of this country. A case in point is Dr. Ndasi Elvis Jokem, who once vied for the post of parliamentarian for Mr. J, and he had a powerful weight against him. That was a CPDM. Now, this is a young man who had been the UPSU president, the president of the entire student body of the University of Boya. Not today, I mean those days when the university bodies, he had a great say. And this young man could break through to be the UPSU president. This is somebody who had been the national youth president for the UNDP of Bello Boba Maigari. Now, the young man comes with so much energy, comes to a small community and feels that, okay, I've had much exposure. Let me also share with the youth, because if I carry this energy to the National Assembly, I will be able, first of all, as a youth, to stay awake and also see that the voice of the youth is heard at the National Assembly. But as we talk today, the young man did not only lose the elections, but he's somewhere in America. It tells you that the political landscape in Cameroon is such which is very slippery. Slippery in such a way that you may have the idea, you may have the energy, and you want to actually do the needful. But how far will you go? That is $1 million question. I know people who have come up as youths with political party, and when it's an election, I will not want to call the name of certain individuals, but we've seen presidents of political parties, Mr. Leo, openly campaigned for the ruling political party. They will tell you that, okay, they are doing so during the, they're doing so for parliamentary elections. But the question is, aren't the political party that strong in order to ensure the change? That is the $1 million question. So I think that, Mr. Leo, the bottom line in the country, Cameroon, is the fact that the political terrain is made in such a way that youths hardly are given the chance. Youths are hardly given the chance because...
When you say youths are hardly given the chance, should they be given, or are they not supposed to take? Who will give you?
No, Mr. Liu, when we talk of taking, taking is we are talking in a country where the political landscape is slippery. That is what I said. Because when you look even at elections, I have people, I'll cite you a good example. We're talking about people, because Mr. Liu, if you do a business once and you don't succeed, you do it again and it doesn't succeed, you start thinking of changing line of business. I'm saying so because youths come up with a lot of energy. They have the strength. If Fabrice Lena runs for one parliamentary election and does not succeed and tries a second time, I bet you that the young man will think that maybe politics is not his call. But now, it is not maybe that politics is not his call. It is just an aspect that the political landscape in Cameroon is carved in such a way that the ruling CPDM decides who gets what at what time. We want to appreciate youths like Cabral Libi, who have taken the courage with this newly born political party, the PCRN, and today the political party has 5 parliamentarians and also has councils. Amongst them, the 6th assistant mayor to the Douala 5 council, Joseph Espoir Billon. So it, at times, Mr. Liu, I appreciate the youths. I, for one, I would have loved to do politics. But when I look at the political landscape of Cameroon, knowing the realities of the political landscape in Cameroon, when I look at youths who are going into politics, the question I keep asking myself is, how far? How far? Because we are living in a country where at the day of elections, our people have been reduced that who cast the ballot boxes, who pays more. And many a time is not even paying more, is the promises you make people during the election.
Okay.
So you don't only need to tell people that if you vote for me, I will make a road, I will construct schools. But the people want immediate solution because they have had situations where those who came and promised them did not actually pay anything because the promises were never revealed.
Okay,
so
Quinivet,
people many a time are
Quinivet,
not...
do the youth actually know their force, their worth? Do they know that almost even if they say the elderly are ruling them, they are the ones determining?
Okay, I will begin by saying that, yes, the youth in Cameroon is very aware of their force, of their energy, of their capacity. But they're afraid.
Okay.
The
fear factor.
Yes, there is
That's
a fear
exactly
factor.
what we are saying. They are scared.
They're afraid. They're afraid to venture. They're afraid to dare. They're afraid to step in. But maybe we should look at why are they afraid? Because in my experience, I'm first of all very delighted that all of us here are young people. Obviously, I'm the youngest, physically. Yes, I'm the youngest, but I want to say all of us here are young people, and if we are doing what we are doing, we will all agree that we are braving one odds or the other. In Cameroon as a whole, there are these young people that are energetic. When you talk with them one-on-one, you get some of these ideas that are pregnant. You get some of these mentalities that are heavy, but there is always this question at the back of their minds: can I do it? Will I be permitted to do it? I heard you ask him a question. You were asking him if they are supposed to take it or they should be waiting for opportunities to be given to them. I would say that youths are supposed to take it, because in this environment, in this country where we find ourselves, there is nothing like waiting for an opportunity to be given, because it will never be given. In the last couple of years, since the change from 1962 till date, opportunities are not given. I mean not given in every sense of the word. There is no youth that will tell you comfortably that if they want to venture into the political arena of Cameroon, then they will wait for an opportunity to be given. They will wait long. The prince did make mention of examples where in the ruling party, you need to go through mentorship that will last you about 15 years. I did capture that, last year about 15 years, and he took examples of himself. If he is the one, how old would he be when he actually starts getting active on the platform? That is not an opportunity. You're not given opportunities when you're almost ripe for retirement. Opportunities should be given when we are agile, when we have the energy and all of that. And I want to boast about the Popular Action Party. This is not just because it is the party to which I belong. It is a fact that this is that lone party in Cameroon presently that is giving value and worth to the young people, that is giving opportunities to the young people, that is listening to them and not just mentoring them for endless number of years, but letting them learn in the work, which I think is the best method to learn. One of the best ways to learn is to learn while working. You don't just sit and you're looking at some tired people doing the same things for decades and decades and failing, and these are the people that are teaching you, and you with new ideas. You're never given opportunities to express yourself. You're never given opportunities to try the new things you have in mind. You're never given opportunities to explore. You're never given opportunities to bring new things to the table. When we keep doing the same things over and over, there is bound to be depreciation. Ideas do depreciate because times change. The world in which we are in 2022 is not the same world in which we were in 1962, for example. Not even in 1997, for example. Things are changing, times are changing, ideas are evolving, but the people of then cannot understand the realities of today. The ones that really know what is happening and what should happen and what is best for the nation. You know, we are in a country where they keep saying that the youth or the young is a leader of today and tomorrow. I'm sure I'm saying this correctly. The leaders of today and tomorrow, but we don't see any young people being leaders today.
Okay, why we've just been joined by Quinivet. Can you understand the position of the youth today vis-a-vis politicking?
Good evening to the fellow panelists. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, our very loved audience. I think this is a very interesting topic, the topic of youth involvement in politics. But as complicated as it is, I think it's a very, very simple, I have a very simple outlook at what this is all about. I'm not a political scientist. I am not a political scholar as well, but I've done a little bit of reading on what politics is all about. And to begin with, Mr. Leo, I think that the word politics has been demonized, especially in Africa. It has been demonized in Cameroon, and it has been demonized by the same us, the youth, who are today crying or complaining that we are not given opportunities. If I want to attempt a definition of politics, maybe I would just simply say it is a situation where you put yourself in a position to make decisions. The decisions can be changed to affect changes at the level of your family, or the level of your community, or maybe in the most popular case, at the level of your country. So we must first of all start by educating ourselves what politics in its sense is all about. And I think philosophers have said it, we are political beings, whether you like it or not. And there's a very popular outlook, a popular phrase, people say, I am not interested in politics. Of course, that is not true. Everybody is interested in politics, and everybody plays politics or is involved in politics. I'm going to differ with the two previous panelists in the sense that they're saying that opportunities are not given. I'm going to differ very acutely because I don't think there is any opportunity in life that is given.
Okay, the opportunities are there, you seize them.
The opportunities are there. I think a few weeks back you had a program here talking about how Anglophones have seized the business atmosphere in Douala. Who gave it to them? Who? Your guess is as good as mine, right? They saw the opportunities. Sometimes they created the opportunities and they went for it. And there is no activity, there's no human endeavor where you're not going to encounter obstacles, isn't it? So they are ready.
There's no human endeavor where they roll out a red carpet for you to work on.
Absolutely. So I want to start by saying that let us forget about the idea of giving the opportunities. No, I just think that first and foremost, the reason for the situation of our youth involvement in politics up to this level is because the term politics has been demonized, such that it now makes everyone to cringe when they hear the word politics, because we are all political beings. I think we all lobby at our family levels. We lobby. dad or mom, can I do this? You discuss with your brother or your sister. I think we want to do this project. You agree. Sometimes you lobby, say, all right, let us support this person's own idea over this one. That is already politics. So everyone plays politics naturally at your place of work, in your business. The problem is that we, the youth of this country, have refused. We have refused to engage ourselves in politics. I'm going to come around with some other interventions, but for a start, I think that I would like to stand on the stance. I would like to refuse to take that
yes, but if we say the opportunities are not there, and that we've not been given opportunities, but who are those who mobilize for the elderly? Those who are actually doing the active politics on ground? Who are those who steal the ballot boxes? Who are those who engage in fights? They are young persons, but that's politicking.
It's politicking.
Or you think that they're just being used?
It's politicking. I appreciate what he said, that opportunity has ceased. But it would be wrong to want to compare business and politics. Politics, especially in Cameroon, is a very dirty game.
Okay.
We have had situations. I come from a community where once you speak against the CPDM, your entire lineage is blacklisted. And before you came, I gave an example of a vibrant, intelligent young man who had been UPSU president, national president of a political party, who could, you give that guy 10 minutes in front of the people, if at all words could move people, everybody will vote for him. But now, politics goes beyond talking. Politics in Cameroon goes beyond mobilization, okay? And we are living some hard realities where if they ask you in Cameroon, Mr. Liu, that you should say with certitude how many political parties are in Cameroon, is difficult to say. Absolutely. Cameroon has 300 and plus political parties. But now, how many do you actually see on the ground? I like giving very micro examples. When you go to small communities like Tambe, like Mr. J, like Ako, the day of the election, you meet 3 papers for you to vote with. Why? They tell you, okay, this party at this level is represented, say, by there's SDF, the CPDF, and maybe ANDP or UNDP. So the youths have the zeal. The youths have the willingness. They want to do politics. But the question I asked, and I keep asking till now, is how far? Because, like I see her, she's very young. Imagine a lady like this in the National Assembly. Look at what a young lady like Noran Fossen is doing at the National Assembly. She is shaking the whole National Assembly. When you look at people like Honorable Ngala Gerard, look at the strength the young man is giving at the National Assembly. A lot of energy Gerard is putting at the National Assembly. But now, you have people who have been at the National Assembly as early as the 50s, like the Kavayege Jibris. They are there. You have people who have been there for long, but the question is, do they affect the change? They don't. But they are always there. The question is, are they even liked at their different levels? I remember there's a politician at the far north where people had to march out during parliamentary elections, calling on the head of state that we want every other candidate but this one. The reality is that the man won the elections at the end of the day. Why? Because we're living in a country where most of the things that are happening, even at the basic levels, begin from up. It is the political party that chooses from up. Take it or leave it is their candidate. And that is why we have youths who are very eager. They want to do the politics. They love politics. I said something before you came that I, for one, I love politics. Politics is something I admire. But the political terrain in Cameroon, go for the day of elections. I've covered elections in Cameroon. If you see how elections are done the day of the voting, you will just leave the thing. Who represents the head of state in the day of elections? Is the chef there. Of course, you don't need to tell somebody who lives in this country where the chef there belongs. Who represents the general body, the elections Cameroon? Of course, the boss of the elections Cameroon is appointed. Now, when you have those situations, you obviously have people who are very vibrant, who want to do politics, but when they sit, analyze, look at the future, they feel that it's preferably the sit and wait until time changes. Why? Because you cannot seize it. I give you a case in point. In 2018, the CRM political party took to the streets. They felt they had won the election. They felt it was too seized. We know the repercussion. People receive bullets like Celestin Jamin. Michel Ndoki is a living witness. Now, even within her own political party, she feels that she should go and head the political party and that Maurice Kamto should also give way. But we know what is actually happening. We know vibrant young guys like Alex Ngepi who want to be at the forefront of the political scene even within his political party. But the same political party tells him, sir, red card, you're going against the dons of the political party. We know young, vibrant guys within even the ruling, even with the Cabral's party, the PCRN. Joseph Espoir-Bion, who is the Sixth Assistant Mayor to Douala 5, had to resign from the political party. Why? Even as she's sitting, I don't know whether that's how it works with the PAP, but every political party, even when you come on a TV platform like this, they are talking with you and reading SMSs. I've done several platforms to them. Why? Because it's the national level that is telling you, say this, say that. Where now is the youth? Where then is the place of the youth? When the youth cannot openly express what they feel. If you go to any small community, my brother, I bet you, I don't know the area you come from, but I want to speak from my own area where I come from.
He's from Menchum.
Okay, it's from Menchum. Now, I come from an area where if you dare against the big guns who have the CPD, my brother, your story will be told by another person. They will not kill you. But they will so frustrate your plans that anything you want to do is frustrating. You start even a small business of saving a 500K, you just see it crumbling. The taxes are extremely much. Anything you want to organize, anything, the eyes on you. Why? Because you have joined politics and you did not join the ruling political party.
Yes, but what you are saying is that it is scary.
It's scary, Mr.
Yes, your life is threatened. But before engaging into politicking, we see what Trump is going through in the United States of America. We saw what Marine Le Pen and
the political context are a bit different, Mr. Leo.
Yeah, but the problem is
when you talk of America and Cameroon, America is a free man world.
No, let me come. I'm just saying that.
America is a no man's world.
Even if you were to be engaged in politics in heaven, you should understand that there is going to be rivalry. Now, how do you expect to engage into what almost everybody wants to have, and you think that they'll bless you? Yes. I don't know. Isn't it naive to think that in politicking, you want to become the mayor? Okay, everybody should clap that. Oh, you are the best person. You look so beautiful. They will no.
I first of all want to outrule the mentality that becoming a politician is just because we want to become a parliamentarian, you want to become a mayor, you want to become an SDO, you want to become... That is not what becoming a politician means.
Okay.
So I want to first of all outrule that school of thought. Being a politician is not about having a position of governance in the country. It is just about being at that place where you can be comfortable about sharing what you think will contribute to national upbuilding. Secondly, I also want to make a comment about something my fellow panelists said about other parties discussing with their people and telling them, like, from national level, this is what you have to say, and that, okay, it's good you did mention that you don't know if that is how it works with the PAP, so maybe I should clarify that. With the PAP, we know what we stand for. We have a mastery of what we're standing for as a party. No one needs to fit words into anybody's mouth because we think the same or practically the same. We have the same direction, we have the same focus we're looking at. And if the youth in Cameroon has to succeed politically, I'm coming back to, I'm sorry, to Mr. Cody, yes. I'm coming back to Cody, you know. He did mention that opportunities have to be seized. Yes, they must be seized, but they are not given. They must be seized. I'm agreeing with what he said. We have to seize these opportunities. And when we look at all these political parties that you mentioned, the Camtos, the Cabral Libris, and all these other people, you didn't mention any one party you know that gives opportunities for people or that lets the youth seize the opportunity. There are these old people that go on, the young people want to be, or Michelle Doki wants to be at the head.
I made mention of the PCRN. Honorable Noran Faustin is young and she's MP for that political party.
Okay, well, maybe I was hoping that you mentioned
like
me. Maybe I was
when
hoping that you
become
mentioned
parliamentarian
me.
or mention you.
I don't need to become parliamentarian. That is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I don't need to become
politician.
parliamentarian.
Okay.
I don't need to become parliamentarian. No one needs to
When
become
you effect change, what I
parliamentarian.
wanted to say
Yeah,
was
but the problem is
That is the
you
thing.
first engage in
You need to
politics before
engage, you
anyone
need
else.
to effect the change.
To just
You
add
need-
some flesh, sorry for cutting it.
It's okay.
To just add some substance to what my fellow panelist is saying, I will say it again. All what you have said is, to an extent, verifiable.
Yes.
It is. But again, I would maintain the fact that one of the reasons why youths are not or are shying away from politics is because it has been demonized.
And apart
And
from
the demonization is things that we, like my fellow panelists now is saying online, that it is impossible. Because that's what you are saying.
Yes.
Practically.
We are discouraging. Yes.
we are so politics has been demonized, not by the youth.
Not by
The
the youth,
youth
yeah.
have been forced to believe that it is not a place they should venture in. And what I'm trying to say is that for me to make impact, I don't need to become a parliamentarian to make impact in my community. And then you can't be telling me that you will be referred to only when you would have made impact. These are some of those things that frustrate the youth. And they keep thinking, okay, I can't even make the impact because it has been demonized, because it is so tight, because it's so frightening. My life will be threatened. My career will be brushed to the mud. My taxes will be lifted so high on my businesses. I will not progress in anything. And they're like, well, maybe I should just find a place and sit, because they don't see themselves making the impact. Impact starts with a person, with yourself. If I am not able to impact myself, there is no way I'll be able to impact you. And maybe we have gotten to that point where we should actually stop talking about the youths, they're lazy, they're doing this, they're doing that. We should start thinking of who are these people that we can bring on board.
Yeah, but let me cue you there. You say the youths are being made to understand that this is a dangerous zone to venture in.
Of course.
Are they actually scared? Are they not the youths that steal ballot boxes? Are they not the youths that go and attack and defend all
okay,
of
let
these
me
things?
clarify
Is
that.
not- are they not doing that under political banners?
Let me clarify that. Under what political balance are they doing it? You know, as a child, let me use this example. As a child, you'd only have a lot of energy to talk when you know the father you have. A youth who is rigging ballot box, he's not doing it necessarily because he likes it. When you look at our Cameroon, how many young people have masters
Are they unaware of the implication of their actions?
Excuse me, we also have to be able to recognize that some of these people, they are not unaware, but these big arms are shielding them, and they know that they will for no reason bear the repercussions of their actions,
but-
and also they are just trying to protect their bread.
Can they not overturn these persons that are? Yes,
That is why I said that we have to stop at this point and start looking at these people that we can demonize the issue of politics in their minds and make them understand that the same energy they use in rigging all these ballot boxes, they can use it to bring a change. When they do all these things, it's not necessarily because they are comfortable with the system. They're doing this just because they need to eat. They're doing this because they are trying to amass a few hundreds of thousands and elope to the US or to Dubai, where almost every Cameroonian youth is running to. They're doing this because that is just what they think they can do. But when they start seeing other young people that have been able to brave the odds of hunger in Cameroon, other young people that are able to stand the test of time in Cameroon and are willing to make ends meet honestly, they will be motivated. There are people, I would not want to call any names, but there are people that are threatened and that go and rig those ballot boxes, not because they want to, but just because they are afraid of someone. You did mention that you come from an environment where if by any means you seem to be someone who is against the ruling party, your life is going to be a mess. So there are people in such situations that will do things just because they are threatened, and they're just trying to protect themselves, they're trying to protect family, they're trying to protect, and they keep doing things that they are lamenting about. Sometimes we don't just look at problems superficially. We see what people are doing and then we condemn. Sometimes we need to understand the reason why they are doing what they are doing.
Now, we say we are threatened because on top of the youth, we have some big guy who has the money to tell us. But let's take the case of the presidential elections. We've had young candidates vying for the position of President of the Republic, amongst others. But we find young people voting for
the elderly ones.
Yes. why do the youths themselves not mobilize around the young candidate?
Good.
Because they are complaining that, okay, we are not given the opportunity.
Good.
The opportunity is given. A young man is selected as candidate. We saw Joshua C. We saw Cabral Levy. We saw other young guys.
Yeah,
but,
so
why did the youth not say that, okay, we have never been given the opportunity? This young guy is going to give us.
I'm going to cue in just right into what you said earlier. That politics is not all about being a member of parliament. It's not all about being a mayor or a senator. That is where that was my second point I was going to come through with. Politics is, like I said at the beginning, playing a part in decision-making process.
Right.
How do you affect decision when you don't have a role?
Exactly. So how do we affect decisions?
Ideas.
How do we contribute? I'll give you at least 3 ways that you can contribute, and I'll come back to my point that it is also have refused. The majority of us the youth, have refused to take the bold step into venturing politics. If we take a rough survey of youths, let's say 35 and below, who have active, valid voters card, you are going to be amazed at the number of youths that don't even know what a voters card looks like, to begin with. And what is their reason? They will tell you that because they already know that the person that is supposed to win has won. Okay, let me put it this way. Do you know that the CPDM of this country is one of the most organized parties in this country, right down to the grassroots? Have you seen when they go out for their rallies? They mobilize. How much of this mobilization is done by us, the youth? It is us that they use. The bike riders are the youth. The people that print these banners are the youth. The people that, like, we are talking of stolen ballots, they are the youth. All right, let's keep the purely party politics apart. You have to be able to give yourself an account that the people will have confidence in you. How does it start? We have our village meetings, okay? There's a good number of us. How many of us belong to our village meetings, our cultural meetings? Okay, if you are not so much into culture, we have our maybe ex-student groups. I think they are littered everywhere. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't want to maybe interact with their former schoolmates.
Right.
Almost everyone belongs to these ex-student groups, to these cultural groups, to these groups of maybe your professional circle. Now, within those groups, you can begin to play, or you can begin to understand why our youth don't play active part in the global political scene in the country.
Because even there,
because
they are not
even
there.
in those little forums, in those little associations, people don't want to take part in the active running of those movements. We have quarter groups, we have, I don't know. Now, I want to start from there. I'll take the second part.
We want to start from president of the
We want to only be the mayor before you are called a politician. Or when they say you're in politics, you must be the mayor or the member of parliament or maybe the youth president or the whatever. No. Politics means that on the day of the vote, you go and choose the person that you want to be mayor. You're already playing politics. You're already taking part in the decision-making process of your division, of your region, and then eventually of your country. Now, if your level of being active at maybe at a certain cultural level, people see in you a potential that, no, this person can actually represent us when maybe villages are gathering. We know those kind of people in our cultural groups, don't we? At the level of those maybe reunion of cultural groups, we can say, all right, let us go for some kind of interdivisional something. And at the level of the division, you still go and distinguish yourself. Right? Do you think that you will need somebody from Yaoundé to come and tell the people that this is the person I want to be your mayor? Or I want you to be, since all of us want to be mayor? Okay? Most of us want to be mayor. Let me put it that way.
All right.
Let me learn, Mr. Liu.
Yeah.
One major problem we have is our playground. We don't know our limits. We don't master our strengths. I'm going to say another reason why the situation of political involvement of youth in this country is the way it is because we mix up everything. There are people that are good at grassroots politics. They are excellent at grassroots politics. Let them play the part. As youths, we know them. These bike riders, there are certain presidents of bike riders that if they speak within a village, even the president speaks, they will not listen. That is a grassroots politician. There are people that are community politicians. When it comes to things that concern the community, when they speak, the whole community follows. At the level of the region, there are also people who they have that regional influence. Maybe at the level of the particular divisional level, regional level, whatever, when they speak. And then we also have now players that are on the national and international and global level. So I want us, the youth, to take it as a responsibility. Look at your strengths. Look at where you fit in. Play a role. Whether it's at the regional level, at the communal level, or at the grassroots, play it well. And if for any reason, the people at any stage believe they want to push you further, it is going to be a natural transition. To the extent that you may find yourself at a global level without ever pushing or pulling any strings. And sometimes, I tell you this in business or whatever, you made a statement that politics, no, any human endeavor has a rule. When you are so good at what you do, nobody can ignore you. I mean that even your enemies will come and recommend you, or they will clap for you without even not seeing it.
Okay. Yes. Do you get it? Let's get away from the mayor parliamentarian.
Right.
Should we? He's taking us back to the basic structure, because I know I've said it severally that almost everybody says the mayor is not doing this, the MP is not doing this, and maybe the president is not doing this. You are from a family. What is the role you are playing in your family? You are from a community. What is the role you play? You are from a school. What role did you play in that school? You are within a professional corps. What is the role? Is that not where we start training ourselves, sharpening our skills?
I think that I like the angle that he took. He took it from an angle where it was, I was looking at it from a macro level, but he brought it...
micro?
Yes, I was looking at it bigger. But I like what he has said. It's very true that you can start the impact from the basic level, like you said. But now we are looking at it at the level that you're going to do it. People who admire you. You can tell the people, okay, let's do this, they accept. Let's go this way, they accept. Let's do this, they accept. But now when the real time will come, you see the reality.
No, we are talking about doing it yourself. Those are two different things.
This is what I'm coming. I like what you said. I'm saying that Cameroonians have the zeal. I've seen young guys who work at the basic level, even at the level of their small communities, who actually impact the people. And the people, okay, think that this man should be our own Moses. But from nowhere, somebody appears, somebody whom they've never seen. I think that it's good to impact the people, even at the level of your family, even at the level of your community, which is very good. But if that is your definition of politics, then I think it's good. But if this will transform from your family to your community to national and to... I bet you it will not work for Cameroon.
It would take a lot of time.
Yeah, it will take. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something. In 2018, a young man comes up called Cabral Libi and goes in. He did not have a political party. Professor Mukulu Vondo says, "Okay, this is a young man come from my party called Parti Quinivet." That was in 2018. Cameroonians, Cabral Libi says, "Okay, the government is asking for money to register, because before you register to become a presidential candidate, you need some money to register." He called upon Cameroonians to contribute. But let me tell you that I was one of those who sent money to that mobile money account, because I saw not only in him an eloquent man, but I felt it was time we saw a youth at the helm of power. But now, how far could it go? That's the $1 million question. It's true. If you want to limit it the way you're saying, then I'm very okay. If that is what politics is, it means that because someone like Mr. Liu is somebody whom I've served with, and I see the impact he creates. Even with you have a small difficulty where Mr. Liu will send me even 1,000, he does everything. Even far from that, I think on the day of his birthday, we are in Suza to celebrate with IDPs. That is already at your own small level, creating impact. But now, let Mr. Leo transform this dream. That, okay, I want to leave this, I'm going on national. I want to be parliamentarian, say for Menchu. It's a different ballgame. The whole thing, yeah, the whole thing changes, eh? You start seeing things in another phase.
No. I'm not interested in politics, please.
Thank God. No, I said if.
Okay.
It's conditional. I know you're not. I know you're not because we've even discussed it backstage. Now, I feel that we can impact everything you're talking about. Okay? I gave you a simple example, maybe for
yeah, but I'm sure that what he was saying is you are preparing yourself to that level because
Mr. Leo,
you don't get from a child to
Mr. Leo, I want to
while you were younger.
Even the
what were you doing? Yes,
Cabral Libi.
Cabral Libi started within the circle of the secondary school and the university.
My brother, this is what I'm saying. Eh? Before you came, I gave a very simple example here. I picked the example of a young man who was SP in PHS. Lev was UPSU president. Became national president of a political party, the UNDP.
No, he was the youth president.
The youth president, thank you, the youth president. Has done, this is a guy who has done everything. Comes back to the community every third term. Organizes this tournament, the football tournament that is done during holidays. At times, even because of the tournament, they were already eyeing politics in him and they are telling him, no, Monsieur le Chef, this young man comes to the village and organizes things known as the clean share competition, where he encourages those people selling share, our mothers, that, okay, it is necessary for you guys to maintain hygiene. What I'm saying is, I don't know whether what you say, you know the reality of politics in Cameroon. You can impact and be loved by a whole community. You'll be shocked that the day of even voting at national level, those of your family members will not vote for you. Not because they don't like you, but because the pressure is coming from elsewhere. I'm speaking really, I know what is happening in this country. Why? Because at one time in this country, you are maybe very intelligent. But if you do not belong, like Lapiro calls it, parti organisateur, or forget about it. You will love, everybody will love you. You will be very eloquent. You have the strength, you have the energy, you have the skills, you have the savoir-faire. But the final day, it will not favor you. Not because you lack anything, not because people did not vote for you. It is simply because our political landscape in Cameroon is so tailored that if you do not find favor from those who matter, ask even those who are into bigger seats today, even at the level of parliament, even at other areas, they had some political godfather somewhere. So I feel that you may have this say, you have you move people at all levels. You may even tell people, okay, this person is coming. I want us to not to listen to him. And the people will listen. Even at the days of community, normal community level, you're the person who is championing it. You can do that in countries like Rwanda and succeed. Okay. In America, you will succeed.
No.
You do it in America, you will succeed.
That is the discourse that has been out there. That has been going out there. You are not into politics. You are a journalist. You are a politician, right?
I am a politician.
Fabrice Lena is a politician. They are all young.
They are young. Gine Evis is a politician.
Even Jan Dennis is young.
Jan Dennis is a young man.
Yes, irrespective of what he's saying, but you still believe and you think that the youth can make the difference, because if you don't believe that you can make the difference, you would not be engaging in this.
Everything starts from somewhere. And he's mentioned people that have tried and it failed. If I have to comment to that, I would say that when you're a visionary of change, you don't give up. You don't fail and stop because you failed. You keep trying.
Others failed.
Oh yes, you don't stop because other people failed. And
Cabral Libi will not be where he is if he had that mentality. Yes.
Who knows? Maybe he knows Cabral Libi's story probably better than I do, but he definitely doesn't know what Cabral Libi is what his plan is as at now or for the future. I don't want to talk about Cabral Libi. I'm not here to talk about Cabral Libi. I'm here to talk about the youth of Cameroon. There is no problem failing. Try and fail and keep trying till we get the change. That is what I want to say. When we keep talking, these are the kinds of talks that discourage the youth, and they're like, okay, it's obvious, we're going to try and we're going to fail, so there is no point trying. That is why you see people that do not know what the voter's card is, because they already know that it doesn't matter whether I vote or not, we already know the person that is going to win. And when you say that the CPDM is the most organized,
he said so.
One of the most organized, I will not even just say one of the most. I would say is the top organized. But why are they the top organized? Because they have tailored and shaped and cut everything to fit them. Let the CPDM give room for other parties to organize public rallies.
Thank you.
We are going to see how organized people can be. We cannot do this kind of comparison when it's weighing on one side, when the other people are not even given these opportunities. We talk about mobilization. We have to get to our WhatsApp groups, like you mentioned, ex-student community and village community groups and all of that. The PAP, for example, is currently doing a lot of groundwork mobilizing the youth. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. The PAP is currently doing a lot of
I saw
groundwork
Fabrice,
mobilizing
my friend
them.
in the family.
Okay, thank you. You saw Fabrice Lena mobilizing. These are people that go around doing a lot of work. Okay, if it doesn't work in 2022,
25.
we continue to 23, we continue to 24 and 25 and on and on and on. One thing I want to say is that because you as a young person started it, it doesn't mean it will work with you. You understand? If you started it, it doesn't mean it will work with you. Continue, pass it on to another young person. Let the baton keep moving. That is what Cameroonian youth, the few that are even in the political landscape, that is what they fail to understand. You don't get unseen because you want to be seen. You don't get unseen because you want to make a name. When you're having at the back of your mind that it's because you want to get to somewhere and prove to everybody that you're that one Cameroonian youth that has gotten to that level and you feel it frustrates you and you find a place and sit and you find a country and run away to. But when you're doing it because you have the heartbeat of the nation, of other Cameroonians at heart, you don't stop. There are challenges, there will always be challenges. I mean, of all countries in the world, everyone knows that in Cameroon in particular, the challenges are they're horrendous. They're terrible. They're frightening. But do we keep succumbing to the frights? Do we keep succumbing to the threats? I believe that if the Cameroon, you know, I've been in contact with a couple of young people in Africa, Gambia, Nigeria, Tunisia, a couple of young women, like the next aspiring president for Gambia is a woman that is in her early 30s. I won't be mentioning her name because we're not talking about her. You can do your research. You're going to see her. She's like, check Gambia.
Come and try and
in her early 30s. It is not about let her come and try in Cameroon. It is about Cameroonians, let's start trying. We might not succeed in this generation, but we need to leave a legacy for the young people that are coming up. The ones now are mediocre because the ones before were mediocre. If we are lukewarm now, the ones that are coming after us will be lukewarm. Whenever you start something, the person that comes after you will never take it from zero. They'll continue from where you stopped. So I am not saying that the possibility of the young people in Cameroon bringing a change could be very automatic. It's possible that it happens if we all come together. It's possible that it happens if we lobby ourselves. It's possible that it happens if the Cameroonian youth can just stop hearing words like, just try and you will see what the end will be for you. Just try and you'll see how woefully you feel. Just try. And it's time for us to stop hearing such words, such statements.
Change the narrative.
Let's change the narrative. And we cannot change the narrative by fearing ourselves, by imposing the fear on ourselves. We need to dare. I know one of the people I personally admire, Fabrice Lena, he goes to any length. I will not talk about someone I don't know personally. There is Engineer Elvis. I'm talking just about the people I know. Someone could be thinking because it's my party. No, I know them personally. These are people that go to whatever extent. Someone like Jang Dennis, he will give the opportunities. Not fully. I will not say fully giving because we also show the interest. And it's like, okay, you're showing the interest. This is the opportunity. And that is what I think mentorship should be about. The young person cannot just sit in their house, you're riding your bike calmly, and you're like, okay, I'm just going to do politics in my bike riding. We need to go beyond that. We need to go beyond that level where we are just so mediocre in the way things are happening. We will not ignore the fact that if the youth in Cameroon is at the level where they are presently, it is because of the present governance. It is because of the present authorities we have. We are in a country where you don't speak freely. They say there is freedom of speech, but there isn't. We are in a country where when people say like, oh, it seems like you've started going on that Mr. Kum Leonard's program. You should be afraid. We don't want to hear one day that you've disappeared. You know, when people say it, people send you WhatsApp messages, they're telling you, be careful. You know, as a young person, you should not. It's because even when we come on such platforms, we tell them on air, be careful, because if you try, you're going to fail. So how do we even expect them to be encouraged? I have met young women and young men that have tried, and they keep trying in their countries, and those countries are far ahead of Cameroon. And the reason why we are not getting anywhere is because we are not trying. Okay.
Is it the issue of the message, the perception that the young people are given of politics is a place where if you dare, they'll kill you, and almost everybody is scared of what actually does not obtain, and you are scared and you abandon the stuff to the guys to enjoy.
I want us to stay within the context of our topic for today, right? It is that youths are not interested in politics.
Because they are scared.
Because they are scared.
Because they are scared. So who do we want to make this change? The first question we're asking is, do we really want this change? That is the first thing. I'm very happy with what you have said, and I picked one thing. We should stop thinking that the change must come through us. We are here to play our own part. The youths, the 16, 17 million youths that are in this country are there to play their part. If we play our part and we stop the narrative, I mean, when we come to media houses, my Media Prime has a huge following in Anglophone Cameroon as well as in Francophone Cameroon these days.
And in the diaspora.
The things in the diaspora as well, the things we say play directly or indirectly on the psychology of whoever is planning on doing anything.
Thank you.
If it is true that people have tried and failed in the US, in Europe, even in Germany, I mean, where those, what we call advanced democracies, they have their stories. And we are talking about censorship, ladies and gentlemen. Censorship exists everywhere. We may not use that word exactly, but there is always some level of control. Even in your house, there are things that you tell your kids, don't say this, don't say that. And I'm not saying that a country should be run like a home, but it is normal. But in other countries, I'm so glad you used the example of the Gambia. Yahya Jammeh, I think, who was in power up to 2017, after being a military ruler and took power by a coup or something, became a democratically elected president and stayed there for 23 years. I want us to take this as an assignment. Let's read a bit about how Yahya Jammeh left power in 2017. It was championed by the youths. And when these youths started championing the campaign, 23 years is a long time. And Yahya Jammeh, it is well documented. He's one of those people that they always refer to as the dictator, the tyrant, and all. Yes. And he was. There are documentaries out there to prove it.
His name is even still feared.
But till this date, when you go to the political history of the Gambia, those who are credited with the change, the political change that happened in the Gambia in 2018, 17, 18, are the youths. A good number of them. Now, I want to point out something which you said, that the CPDM should allow the other parties to have political rallies. The Gambia, for example, they didn't have political rallies because every time they dare to step out, they're going to lose family members, lose friends, and so on. And it is almost similar, it's very similar to what happens, or what obtains in most African countries, in Cameroon maybe. So what did the Gambian youth do? They took to social media. They did social media campaigning. They leveraged. Do you really think that the old guard can manipulate social media better than other youths? Of course, no. Have you seen the amount of following that exists in these gossip pages on Facebook? I mean, I'm amazed sometimes when there is a gossip. I just scan through some of these social media pages, these gossip pages. Within 5 minutes, you see 31,000 comments,
right.
40,000 views. And by the time you get up in the morning, you're going to see 300 and something thousand comments and youths and so on. So we don't lack visibility. We don't lack ideas. What we lack is the willingness to take the step. I don't want to say courage. We lack the willingness. Because when there is a will, we are always going to find a way to express ourselves. I'm going to end by saying this. I want to encourage us that we should begin by taking our responsibilities wherever we find ourselves. When you play at the responsibility in your home, your family circle, your cultural groups, your professional circles, without you even knowing, people will start paying attention to the things you say. And you yourself, you are going to gain more confidence in what you're saying. And it's going to put you in a situation where you are going to manage maybe better offices when the opportunity presents.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo and the panelists. I admire the lady in the studio. Lista Montana is watching from Yaoundé. Good evening to you. Emile from Bamenda. Emile from Jutin. Esther from Kumba. Good evening to you and to all of you watching from across the globe. I'll take 2 messages from our viewers and then we move on with the program. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm Simon from Kribi. The program is very interesting. Must our nation be changed through politics? Yes, if you don't do politics, others will decide for you. This one says the lady is intelligent and very analytical. She's good. Thank you. Enoch says, good evening, Leo and crew. Let that woman of PAP be serious. Is their party for a particular zone in the southwest or for Cameroon? Okay. Yes, I'm sure they are across the nation. Fabrice Lena was in the finals recently. Yeah. Right. Good evening, Mr. Leo. For the past 4 to 5 decades, the youth have gone no place in Cameroon politics. Involving in politics as a youth in Cameroon is walking your way to prison. As youth, I prefer to find my daily bread, live my life simply. Stanley is writing from Kuwait. Exactly what we are talking about in this studio. Yes, you are discouraging young people from engaging in politics and who then should turn things around. Hello, good evening, Mr. Leo. This program today will help our youth in Cameroon. Mbappe is writing from Malende. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I am Edmond from Batibo. I'm really enjoying the program. So educative and empowering. The lady is wonderful. I wish she were a lawyer. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Good evening, Mr. Leo. How can the youth have the power in Cameroon when you cannot be a youth in Cameroon if you are not 60 years in primary school? They ask you this question. Who is the Speaker of the National Assembly? I will answer the question my mom answered. Also, where are we? Njoka Nestor is writing from in Kombo. Good evening to you. Following the concept of political participation, African youth see politics as a game practiced by the old who are economically powerful to find their way. Randy Ituka writing from Banga Bakundu. Good evening to you. Hi, good evening to you. I'm Philemon writing from Pinin. Last week, Barrister was on my Media Prime and I saw him on the TV and he was like he will figure out how to help the children from the villages which are no schools to towns where there are schools. So they put this number on TV and ask people that are from those types of areas, okay? I don't know of that program, sir. Please, I will find out which barrister. Can you tell me the barrister? Because many barristers passed on my Media Prime. I don't know which particular barrister spoke about the need for children to move from villages where there are no schools to town. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and special greetings to the panelists. The youth of Cameroon are somehow scared of politics because many are afraid no matter what they do, their efforts wouldn't be fruitful with the present CPDM in place. But I want to encourage all the youth to register into the electoral list and let's change the political situation in Cameroon. Great Reverend Mrs. Carr, for me, I'm happy seeing a woman youth like her having my same mindset. It's Mrs. Tita, writing from Susa. Good evening to you, Miss Tita, and she has received your greetings. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please, I'm Fred from Kumba. Please tell the lady that I want to join her party, so she should send me any address to get to them, okay? Can you write me on WhatsApp? I'll share her number with you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I admire the intelligence of that lady. I have got my inspiration from her. Collins Tamba, a queen writing from Boya. So many getting inspired. But now, yes, if the youth, like you say, are scared, who then should change things in Cameroon?
Mr. Liu, I believe that even the Bible in Ecclesiastes 3 says that there is a time and a season for everything. A time will come when change will come to Cameroon. If somebody tells you that the change will come now, I've seen people who had stronger and hotter energy than the beautiful lady whom I admire too, from what she's saying. I've seen people who had stronger energy, but the political landscape in Cameroon is that which it drains you, and at one time you just feel this thing is maybe not my thing. But
yeah, but you just quoted the Bible and you said there's time
there's
for...
a time. That's what I'm saying. So, now for now. I'm talking about now. I'm still to learn, Mr. Lee. I'm
queuing you.
For now, the strength is there. And I said that. I've seen people who had stronger energy who've given up. And like she said, it's not about her, it's maybe the future. So it's a good initiative. And Mr. Liu, I think that all the panelists, Mr. Kudi, talked about the social media. Permit me tell you that in 2018, the head of state said on ne gagne pas les élections sur les réseaux sociaux. That elections are not won on social media. That is President Paul Biya talking. It means that you may have 10 million people comment on your page on social media. He was saying that you win elections through the ballot box. That's what he meant. Now, when we come down to the ballot box, there is so many things in play. The first thing you need to do, like her, is getting to convince people, get interest in politics, like the guy in Kumba already, who likes the fact that she wants to join your party. Now, Cameroonians have a lot of voters apathy. Some, not all. There's a lot of voters apathy in the country. Ask Cameroonians why. In 2018, I watched Cabral Libi at the Omispor Stadium. If you saw the mammoth crowd that followed that young man, if all of those guys had voters card, he would have been somewhere. When Professor Maurice Kamto came back from his Europe tour and held a kind of a session here at Bepanda, at Grand Moulin, you needed to see people. People started from Grand Moulin right up to Camtel, some up to Daido, and some up to Rond-Point. Now, it tells you that there is a willingness, but the truth remains. Now, I'm not that kind of a person, I'm that kind of a person that I don't like dreaming. That is, it's not good to be saying things that don't exist. She made mention of one thing. The CPDM, like you said, is a political party to an extent that is organized. Organized because they control the finances. It may shock you to know that even at the basic level, it's not the CPDM that sends its money to go do those rallies. There's maybe the parliamentarian of that area, it's maybe the minister of that area who does everything. And far from that now, does the party in power even give room for people to organize rallies? Recently, the Frederick Ebed organized a seminar to train some politicians of the opposition on political communication. It was to take place in a hotel in Bonaberi, whose name I will not call for publicity reasons. The SGO for Douala for Dauda Issa says, annulé, you cannot hold it's a seminar, it's not even a rally. So, the political landscape in Cameroon, take it or leave it, is my point. And I'm saying so with my experience, first of all, as a young man who was growing up, and when I grew up and joined journalism, I've covered a lot of things in this country, and I've seen the reality. If they want to frustrate this lady on the field, they'll frustrate you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you give up. The energy will die. I'm telling you, it's a fact. Take it from me.
Yeah, but I'll go back.
Let me just respond to what he's saying.
I'm saying so because the energy is good.
Are you not already discouraging her?
I'm not discouraging her. I'm not discouraging her.
You're discouraging her.
From the time he started talking right now, let me just respond to him. From the time he started talking, I actually felt like it was no longer a word for the people. It was directly addressed to me. You did mention that in the Bible,
that's a time and a season
for everything. Yeah, but the same Bible says that we have to understand the times and the seasons.
Okay, you understand it now.
You just don't wait for the time of change. You have to understand when you have to start working towards change.
Okay.
And when you have to get yourself ready for the change. And secondly, you mentioned people that had a lot more energy and it died down. You know, the thing is not how much energy you have. The thing is how well you know how to manage your energy. What makes you resilient is not the amount of energy you carry. What makes you resilient is how you manage the energy you have. I don't need to have as much energy as the people you knew. But there is no way you can measure my resilience, regardless of what you know about my story. There is no way you can measure my resilience. And personally, I will not succumb to any...
pressure?
No, not pressure. To any comments that are wanting to pull me down psychologically, because this is what we are doing here right now, and this is what we do to the people out there. We keep telling them that it's a fact, it's not going to work, it's a fact, you cannot succeed. It is not a fact. We are in Cameroon where abnormal things have become normal. We are in Cameroon where dictatorship has become normal. We are in Cameroon where intimidation has become normal. I'm refusing intimidation, and I'm refusing intimidation on behalf of the youth. No youth should feel intimidated. If you have your energy, dream. If it's okay if you are not the kind of person that dreams, but let those who dream, and let them dream big, and let them work towards achieving their dreams. Even if they fail, they would have learned something in their failure. That is what I believe. I'm equally not imposing my beliefs on you, but I'm just saying that what you believe is what you believe, but it should not be a rule of thumb for every other person. There are many Cameroonians who don't dream like you. There are many other young Cameroonians that dream, and a whole lot of them are the ones that dream. Let them dream and let them work towards their dreams. Everything started with a dream. You know the famous man that said, I had a dream, yes. And how long did it take for him to see that dream come true? But it did come true. He was persecuted and everything that happened to him, but his dream did come true.
He didn't even see it.
He didn't even see it, yeah. So that is just what I was saying earlier on, that there are times when we start fighting for a cause. It doesn't mean that because you're the one who started the race, it must end with you. You're just running so that you hand the baton to another person further ahead. You just don't sit because you're not dreaming and you're expecting every other person not to dream. I am dreaming presently. Right now, I'm dreaming. And I know that we're going to go far. I don't have a lot of energy, like physically. But the momentum I carry, I cannot explain. Okay? So it's not that.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the panelists, especially to my junior Kudi Hims. I'm actually enjoying the program and the very intelligent and empowering contributions by the panelists. I think it's going to change the political landscape of our nation. Joan is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening to you, Joan. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I like the way Quinivet is talking. She inspires me a lot. Tell her more grace. Okay. Quinivet, you are actually inspiring many persons who had lost hope in the possibility for the youth. Good evening, Mr. Liu. My name is Emil. I'm writing from Douala. I enjoy the program. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. The program is very educative and I admire the lady inside. Thank her for the encouragement. Tonga Gilbert is writing from Amutengene. Hello, sir. Good evening. Please kindly share the lady in set number. I would like to join their political party. We share the same mindset. Those who need the numbers of those on set, just write to me after the program. I'll share their numbers with you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Clovis from Douala. Please extend my greetings to all in the studio, especially to Prince Joel. Please tell the lady I'm ready to join her political party. Okay? Good evening, Mr. Liu. Very interesting program. I appreciate you and your team for this program. The youth can't change the political system in Cameroon. When a 50 plus is the political age of the country, I take the old to hand it over to the youth. The youth can't fight because this fight always ends in some being detained, arrested, and more. Okay. James is writing from Boya. Good evening to you. Tony writing from the US. If Cameroonian youth wants to change, they should not be afraid of certain areas. If they want change, they should join politics. They should go to that area that matters. Okay. Good evening to you, James from the US. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Etienne from DOP. I like your topic of discussion today. The youth are not afraid of joining politics. They are afraid of freedom of speech because when you want to bring change, your place is well reserved. Yes, but come and talk. I'm not sure you're going to be arrested for talking here. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Youth are the problem of this nation. I'm happy because this same lady talking today had some weeks back condemned Eto. Thank God she's talking sense today. Romeo is writing from Alimbe. Good evening to you and the president of you and the panelists and the president of GHS Womb EXA. Okay, Kudi has received your greetings. Greetings to your panelists. I like your topic. I share my prince view. Okay, the political landscape in Cameroon is such that no political party can dream of bringing a change. It will need only God to bring a change to this country. Okay. Good evening to you. Good evening, Mr. Kum. Ask the man with the white shirt that he is saying that youth should have voters card. Here in Moyuka, it's more than 80 years that we don't have Elekam. How can we have a voters card? Roger is writing from Moyuka. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Mayun Awudu. Actually, the Cameroonian youths can fight for change, but what they lack is leadership. Who can do that? Everyone is afraid. Okay. Yes, my contribution is that the government has put everything in place to slam down on everything that threatens their power. Just for example, Barrister, okay, you say Barrister Abdul Karim is currently in detention because of a tweet. He's not a barrister. Yes, but now, when you follow what people are saying, many persons are inspired by her outing today and say they are ready to join a political party. Is the problem also because of the discourse?
Absolutely.
Yes. Because they are talking about leadership. We have many persons.
I want us to be very categorical about this. I am going to give the example of Gambia again because I followed Gambian the
elections,
the transition, the political transition. I followed it very keenly back then, and I have had the opportunity to watch several documentaries. You would not believe the amount of stress that the youth in particular went through. Now, I want to lean a little bit towards what the prince said earlier. I will agree with you that the political class, but not necessarily the political class, the older generation also have a part to play. But I will still insist that playing an active part in politics is not given. You have to show, even the Bible says it, show yourself worthy. Show yourself able, okay? Because in the Gambia, for example, I keep saying, they had a total dictatorship there. But the youths championed a fight, and then the elderly supported them. And before they knew it, it was a widespread campaign for change. And this change was effected through elections. You have said it. I'm very happy because the viewer from Moyuka said that there's no Elekam in Moyuka. What does that tell you? It tells you that there are people in Moyuka who are willing to take the option of the ballot box, even though there is a narrative that it will always be stolen. We are going to accept whatever narrative, but that narrative is not going to dictate the actions that we are going to take. Right. It's not going to dictate our cause. What we are here, what I am here as a youth to say to every youth of this nation is that do your minimum as a good citizen. Do your minimum. And your minimum does not involve you being a mayor. Your minimum does not involve you being a councillor. Your minimum does not involve you being a party official. Your minimum does not involve you being a parliamentarian. Your minimum involves or it entails you owning a voter's card. Own that voter's card. Let us start from there. Even if it's the only thing you are going to do as your own contribution to the political landscape of this country, get yourself registered. Own that card. And it's only through that card that you are going to have the propensity or the audacity to say that I contributed in the political story of my community, of my region, or of my country. Okay. Let us begin from there.
Good evening to everyone. I like the topic. I would like to say this, no one can change Cameroon now unto the God of Cameroon is no more. Not to talk of youth. Thanks. John Harrison is writing from Kumba. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Clinton from Mendankwe. I love the way the lady in the program is elaborating. Please tell her we would love to join her party. She is so inspirational. Okay. Collins, writing from Boya, says, Mr. Liu, that lady is so powerful and intelligent. I need her on your program always. It is the viewers who are saying, I don't know how your party will arrange it. Mr. Liu is Fred from Kumba again. We know the change cannot come right now, but we need to start from somewhere. And maybe it might be in our time, if not ours, but we would have put up a great fight so that the next generation will continue. Okay? Good evening, Mr. Liu. Admire your program, especially that intelligent lady. I'm Sir Stephen, writing from Bangem. Okay, Quinivet. Tell Mr. Jang that you need to be on this program. Good evening, Sir Apostle Peter, writing from Limbe. I enjoy your program. More grace. Love to be part of your program. Apostle, if you want to be part of this program, just call me after the program and let us talk and see how you can be part of this program. I'll gladly receive you. Good evening. Watching the show from the Gambia, it's interesting. What the gentleman was saying about the Gambia is true. We've been in a dictatorship for 22 years, but the youth decided to change the narrative in 2017. Okay? Glad to know that you guys are watching from the Gambia. Thank you for that contribution, corroborating what is being said in the studio here. Good evening, Mr. Kum. The system of Cameroon politics is very difficult for the young people to take position into the politics, be it CPDM, SDF, UNDP. Macron, during his visit, said if he was a Cameroonian, he would have never become president. That shows you that during his short stay, he already noticed that young people can never take a high place. How do you start reading your messages? Bottom to top or top to bottom? I send a message and I go, but has not been read. It is now that it's coming, please. I'm not technology now. You may send it and then others come. Good evening to you, Mr. Liu and panelists. A question for the lady panelists. What are the simple steps to create a political party in Cameroon? The cost and duration. Thanks. Eta Kelvin, writing from, yes, but just go to the DO or SDO now. They'll give you directives and direct you to Yaoundé. Good evening, panel of discussion, watching from Nigeria. Nothing imaginable is impossible, achievable by man, especially with the youth. Every tangible is a replica of someone's dream. God bless you. Honorable Engineer Stephen Kim, Ultimate, writing from Nigeria. Good evening to you, Honorable. You are always writing. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Very interesting program as usual. Thank the beautiful lady for her inspiring words. Kuala Sandra is writing from Yaoundé. Hello, Mr. Liu. I'm Sule from Nimbe. To me, Prince is just being realistic. Okay. Good evening to you, Sule, writing there from Limbe. Now, Prince, when you look at the Cameroonian youth, are they ambitious enough to want to take up leadership position? What should be done? Or you are telling them not give up?
No, Mr. Liu, I was to say, thank God it's as though you were reading my mind. I was to say that in everything I've said, I'm in no way discouraging the youth from politics. The youths are extremely ambitious. I myself, remember I said something here that I would have loved to do politics.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would have loved to. You're also scared?
I'm not being scared. I know the terrain. I know what is happening. It's like you want to play, there is Barcelona FC has a football match, say with Bolifamba's squad. You know who wins. It's been normal, football, it's been normal that they're going to win. I think that, Mr. Leo, the youth have the zeal for politics. The youth want to take decisions. The youths, each time you climb even on a rider, you climb even on a bike, or you enter even a taxi and raise the word politics. The guys want to. But one thing they'll tell you is, nous voulons mais. They feel that is not. Mr. Leo, a very simple example. Look at a young guy who is into fake food now and see the changes is effective. Samuel Eto'o. There's a young man that, if not of the fact that he himself already knew the terrain, if not of the fact that he himself used his own personal energy and put it in. So he believed.
Yes.
No, Mr. Leo, it's very correct. He believed, put in the energy, and we know what would have happened at the last minute if Samuel Eto'o did not go extra miles. Why? Because maybe to a certain extent, he wasn't le candidat choisi. But he comes up successful. And we see the changes that Samuel Eto'o is effecting within Fecafoot. And everybody's applauding. And that is why there's something I said here before, Mr. Liu, that if a lady like this stands for maybe parliamentary election, even though she doesn't, I'll cast my vote for her. Why? Because I said it before now, that In her, I see somebody at the National Assembly who do what Wiba did. In her, I see somebody who do what Noran is doing. In her, I see what my parliamentarian Gala Gerard is doing. Why? Because these youths are those who get, imagine she carries this brain to the National Assembly. Even Kavayege Jibwe may not be able to withstand the energy because she has the energy that she can stand up for even 6 hours during the session. But now the question is, I keep saying it, will she be given the opportunity? If this lady goes for an election, I'm happy that she says for now, it's not her dream. She just wants to effect change, which is very good. The day you go for an election, say parliamentary, in your locality where you come from, you'll be shocked that those with whom you share food with.
Yeah, but that's a mindset. But when you get what people, yes, is that not the mindset you have? Yeah,
I want to land by saying that, Mr. Leo, it's not an issue of mindset. It's something that I have followed it up for a period, for a long period. And this is what I made out. I discovered that we are living in a country where even those who have the voter's card, they actually want to see change. But for one reason or the other, you maybe say a young man just had his advanced level and a politician is telling him, I'm going to make you enter ENS. I'm going to tell you. He holds a meeting but with your family members. And even at times they even say, okay, do a list of those who have had their advanced level this year. Advance is coming up. And this child now has his future in front of him. He's looking at the ENS he wants to enter. And he's looking at you who may even win the elections and be worse than the person who is already there. He casts for the person. I am not in any way discouraging any person to go in for politics. The only way you can change a country, I like what you said. You said the fact that either you vote or you don't vote, you are still a political being. All of us are politicians by being. So I think that, Mr. Leo, I encourage every youth to dare into politics. Okay. All of them. I want all of you guys
before
to
you come
dare
in,
into
let me take 2 messages because there are really so many, and I would not want us to leave here without me reading a list to some extent. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I will need to change in Cameroon. All the leaders who are working with government to stop working just 2 weeks, and you will see Cameroon will change. Okay. Gentle says, good evening, Mr. Liu. Nice program over there. The truth is we must start from somewhere. Many Cameroonian youths are scared of becoming involved in politics in Cameroon because of the repressive nature of the present regime, arrest, torture, and imprisonment of the oppositions. The youth needs to know something. Imprisonment is a college for leaders. Ask Nelson Mandela, Mugabe, and many other politicians, and they will tell you what they study in prison and how it helped them during their time as leaders. Thanks. Gentle is writing from Boya. Good evening to you, Gentle. Yesterday was a great show with you. Good evening, Mr. Liu. CPDM is not superior for any other reason, but because all civil servants having duty positions are compelled to be members of CPDM party and they carry dual functions, both administrative and political for CPDM. Mr. Liu, our lady in the studio is correct. There is always a beginning. Tell her I would like to join her party. Okay. Sorry, Eno Charles Nkongo is writing from Kumba. Good evening to you, Mr. Charles from Kumba, who is always following the program. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the crew. The youth of Cameroon might be scared just like the youth in the day of David and Goliath, but I do believe one day a David of our time will rise and overturn the tides. The youth should not be discouraged or scared. We should be determined in our mind and we will overcome. Good evening to you. The energy in that lady is great, but she must watch out. She needs to know more about how Cameroon functions. Practicalities in the ground may break her resilience if she is not careful. She prepare her mind. Kudos. Okay. Yes. But encourage her more rather than frightening her. Hello, it's Favor from Kumba. I'm a youth parliamentarian and also the president of the whole Southwest. And I'm up for change, but I need the help of all the youths of the Southwest. Honorable Favor Afanwi is my name. Honorable, good evening to you. I would love to see you as a youth leader in the Southwest join this panel to educate young people to want to become leaders like yourself. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Kum and Co. We can make all the noise on radio and TV, but this will end in vain until the electoral laws give a level ground playing field for all. Magnus is writing from Limbe. Magnus, please. Good evening. The program is quite interesting. Madam B is writing from Kumba. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. I'm Tita Shipu Clarence from Yaoundé. This program is really educative, but there is this question I want to ask. Why do our youth always keep laying their blames on the old? We can do it, okay? We can do it. Yes, you had a response.
Yes, I had a response for you, Prince.
You wanted to react because I didn't
I wanted to react, sorry. I wanted to react to something you said. So I'll begin by saying that Ahijo became a president at early 30s, 32, somewhere around that age. The ministers we have today that are tired and are not able to speak audibly, even on microphones, they became ministers in their 20s and early 30s as well.
20s.
20s, thank you for even...
In their 20s?
Yes.
Yes.
Like which minister?
We should do our we should do our
Yes,
research. I want to just make my point.
Yes, it's true.
It's true. Let's do our research. I want to make my point.
We should be real.
Yes,
Sometimes
it is
reality
true. Just
what I'm trying to
fact
say
check,
here is that regardless whether it was in their 20s or late 20s or 30s, they were young. What I'm still going to repeat is, in as much as we have schools of thought, we will not frustrate the youth of Cameroon by making them accept that it will never happen. The word never should not exist in the vocabulary of Cameroonians. It will happen. It might not happen in our time. I will say this again and again. It might not happen in our time, but it is definitely going to happen. It can happen in our time as well, but it is definitely going to happen. What we need is a joint force. Even the ones that don't believe it will happen, you can still just line up at the back of the line and let those who believe that it will happen take the lead. That is just the first remark that I wanted to make with regards to what you said. And then to all the people that are asking to join the
PAP?
Yes, the PAP. I can just give them rapidly a number that they can contact. So you can contact this line 677 98 49 34. 677 98 49 34. So they can contact this number to join the PAP. It is not about, when I said that becoming a politician is not it's not necessarily to become a parliamentarian. I wasn't saying that I never have this dream. I was just saying that if you become a politician, or my being a politician is not necessarily because I want to become a mayor. It is not because I want to become a parliamentarian or a governor or a senator or whatever. So it was a general thing I was saying.
Okay. This person says the former Prime Minister Philemon Yang was a minister at 26 years. Yes, just go on.
So he's just, that's someone affirming what
Minister delegate or a minister?
No,
it was a position of authority. You know,
yes,
sometimes all those little details, they really don't matter. It was a position of authority. At that age, he was quite young. So if it was possible for him, why is it impossible for us now, and even for the ones after us? Why is it impossible? That is really what I want to understand. And this is what we are just talking about here. The narrative of Cameroonians. Who will bring the change? We are the ones to bring the change. And that change will begin with a change of mentality. With a change of mindset.
Okay, Fabrice Lena says, good evening, sir. We are proud of our Secretary for Justice, Peace and Human Rights. Quinivet Jokem is an example of youth in politics. PAP is an example for all young people. 60% leadership is for our youth. Congratulations, Courage Car. Okay. Good evening. We love to join your WhatsApp group. I don't know what WhatsApp group we are talking about. Good evening again. Youth are really in politics, but like Prince said, it's going to nowhere and the reality. Okay, Sule is still writing from Sule. Please dream positive. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please help me advise the lady that she should be careful not to be brought over by the present party, unlike other opposition heads that we know. Betombo is writing from Limbe. Okay, they are saying that they should pray so that they should not bribe you to cross the carpet. Yes. I'm Gongang writing from Melon. Hello, Mr. Liu, and greetings to all the panelists, especially the gentleman in white. I appreciate your mindset. It will take a critical thinker to understand the points you are passing across. One thing I appreciate in your contribution is that the aspiring youths who love politics don't know exactly where to begin. Politics begins from the micro level. Youth should learn to know where to begin impacts. I tell the lady that it is good to dream, yes, but don't try to be where you know deep in you it's going to suffocate you. It is a process, and you gain the energy and understand the terrain with time and starting from the base. Many youths have zero basic track records, yet want to rule in political and leadership positions. Top-down leadership is worse. My point is, you should start politics at micro level. Know your level, okay? In line with what you said, Kudi. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I like your program. It is much educative. We, the youth, have to be listening to your program always in order to learn. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and everyone in the studio. The change we need in this country will always start from the local individuals. No one becomes a politician in one day, but must have a vision for a better tomorrow. No one is inferior. You and your contributions are significant. The lady in the studio is really inspiring. I'm in absolute rapture. Clovis Bin is writing from Yaoundé. Mr. Liu, good evening. Prince is being frank. Youths in Cameroon are scared. We encourage the lady, but she has to be watchful, okay? Judith is writing from Bafoussam. Judith, you yourself should get into politics. Good evening, Mr. Liu. My name is Emil from Douala. I love your program. Thank you very much, Emil. President Paul Biya has been president for 40 years, and he was prime minister before becoming president. Secretary General at the presidency before prime minister. So you can imagine his age. You can imagine when he became minister, okay? Yes, he was actually very young when he became minister. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I love your program. May God give you more grace. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I am aware you and the panel want change in Cameroon, but those in the government do not want change. I believe God knows why. He has given them strong minds. This is Messi Raymond, writing from Jokem in Oku, that is after Elak, okay? You go down the hill. Good evening, everyone. The panelists are impressive, but I would prefer their opinion in pidgin. I mean, okay, behind the scenes, okay? Good evening, Mr. Leo. The program is interesting. I appreciate the efforts of the panelists in imparting us on how this country can change. A hand of applause to the lady, but she must be as wise as a serpent. I'm Harry, writing from Limbe. Hello, Mr. Leo. His youth should start politics at micro level, okay? Yes, go back there and start there. Good evening. Can Elekam do registration yearly to avoid corpses and ghost voting? Fai John is writing from Banyo. Greetings to you all in the studio. Mr. Liu, it is not like the youth are afraid of politics. It is because you and I know that politics in Cameroon is meant for the rich. Okay? Kuri, how do we change Cameroon today? Because do we expect that change will come from the Kavayi Gejibris, Right Honorable Kavayi Gejibris, from the President of the Senate, Nyat Jifenji Maxel, from those we know? Is that where we think that change in Cameroon will come?
My answer is simple, Mr. Leo. The change lies in the palms of the youth.
Okay.
If we go right down to history, guys like Ruben Umnyobe and so on, when you look at how much contribution they made and the age at which they made these contributions, it is when they were young, in their early 30s, and all the Martin Paul Sambas and all of those that we studied in history. We have even talked about our current leaders in government and in politics. A cross-section of them are old. But how and when did they get into politics? When they were much younger. Their brains were sharp. They had the energy. So the answer to that question is that change is going to come from the youths. But I want to emphasize that the youth should take their eyes off the top jobs, for instance.
That's good.
Take your eyes off being the mayor, take your eyes off being the member of parliament. I'm not saying that you should not dream, but for a start, play the grassroots politics, play the communal politics, play the politics at the level of the regions, and natural selection is going to bring you to the limelight. I think we are all saying that people are afraid of politics, but nobody is afraid of the politics of destruction. Nobody's afraid of the politics of running down, of backbiting. Youths are all playing that politics, aren't they? So it means they can use this same energy to play constructive politics. So the change lies in our arms, and it must not only be through a revolution, through an uprising. No, we can always have an evolution. We can always evolve. And evolution, in my own terms, would be when the youth become extremely active at the micro level, in your cultural groups, in your student associations, in your professional guilds and circles, in your quarters. I mean, active. By the time you want to discover 2-3 years down the line, you are somewhere that nature has pushed you naturally, and you are going to be an opinion holder in the community and the nation at large.
Good evening, Miss Liu. I'm really amazed by your program. I think young people should really engage in politics. I'm Serge, writing from Tatum in Kumu. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I love your program, and I want to say the lady is really inspiring. I want to also say change is possible in Cameroon if the youth have a change in mentality. Francis is Molindo, President USDP. Limbe. Hi, good evening, Mr. Liu and the panel. It is a great pleasure for me to donate my own piece of idea. I just want to encourage the youth to be brave and forget about politics and fight for what we believe is right, because we are the change. Our actions will bring about the changes we want. So let's all bring about a better change. I'm writing from Kumba by name Mba Jude. Thank you all for listening. Thank you very much, Mba Jude. Greetings, Mr. Liu. I'm Shipu Clement from Baba One Dop. Thanks, Mr. Liu. Most of your programs are quite educative, and I advise most of the youths to follow your programs a lot. Thank you very much. Okay. All of you watching us from Baba One Village, I say special greetings to you this evening. And we are out of time, eh? Thank you for coming.
Thank you immensely, Mr. Leo. I still want to say that it's good to have big dreams, but one thing that we need to do in order to really get Cameroonians involved is, first of all, making the terrain very serene. Serene in such a way that let the people be sure that one man represents one vote.
Yeah, but we're supposed to do that if the youth will not pressure for that to happen.
Mr. Leo, pressure from now till next year. I gave you an example that people came out on the streets in 2006. We know where they are today. We know where Bibu Nisak is. We know where the others are. They're in prison.
Thank you for coming.
Because they marched for freedom.
Thank you for coming, Quinivet.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leo, for having me. Thank you to the panelists. And I will end by saying that change is possible. Change is a constant thing. It's something we can never stay away from. It will always happen. So if you're a young person listening or watching this program right now, you are needed in this change process. And for those that are interested in becoming members of the PAP, you can follow Jang Dennis on Facebook, you can follow Fabrice Lena, you can follow Engineer Elvis on Facebook. And yes, you can contact Mr. Leo. He will give you people the number that you will get to. And those who are afraid, for me, I'm glad to know that you have me at heart. I'd prefer that you encourage me more and you pray for me. And maybe you join me so that we form a hub. When we are more, there'll be less fear. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Mr. Kum. Just tuning in. The youth can bring the change we so desire. The military is made up of a highly youthful percentage. Best brains in the country are youth. About up to 80% of the country's population is made up of youths, but with the mechanism put in place, it makes it difficult for the youths to implement the change. Youths now only talk of history, how President Biya entered the government as a youth and many others. Boni is writing from Boya. Good evening, Mr. Leo. This is Fred from Kumba. I need to join the ladies' party. Can you just write me after the program? Good evening, Mr. Liu. I need that lady's number. Kwan Jacob is writing from Kumbu. Can you guys just write me after?
It's not for her beauty, but for her mindset. Because they will see a young, beautiful girl and thinking that she is a potential wife.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu, and congratulations to our SG of Human Rights, Ms. Ka, and others. Youth are the building blocks of our nation, which produces the strength of its development. Their roles in choosing a quality leader has significant impact on determining the success of such nation. The stronger the youth of a country, the more they develop that country. For a country like Cameroon with about 70% youth population, one wonders why we are where we are. With the current happenings in our country, it signifies that the future of Cameroonian youth has been mortgaged by some individuals, notorious corrupt leaders. Okay, Engineer Tita, writing from Suza. Good evening to you, Engineer Tita. Mr. Liu, let me add to what I already said. If the youth want change, they should avoid bribery and go to the poll to vote the right person. Change is also a constant thing, so change is possible. Hello, can I get the number of the lady, please? Okay, the lady's number I will share to you guys after the program. Good evening, Julius from the United Arab Emirates. Please let sometimes we have be realistic. What brother is saying about the system of politics in Cameroon should be taken into consideration. Okay, you're writing from thank you very much. I am behind all the youths that take great initiative. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. My final message to those of us, especially to the youths, is that we should dream, we should believe, and we should act. Mm-hmm. Act on our beliefs, act on our dreams, and then let nature take its course.
Okay, nature will take its course when we are ready for nature to act on us now. Yep. Yes, so we should get ourselves ready by registering ourselves for elections. I want to thank you all who took time off to watch this edition of the program. Thank you, Eli and Desmond, for producing the program throughout the week, and to you, Tabi Tambe Bryant, who has been supervising the work we do out here. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.
In need of a helping hand, Mitanyan Cooperative Credit Union is here for you. Mitanyan Cooperative Credit Union is a dynamic people-owned savings and loans cooperative society operated on sound cooperative and business principles. Are you looking for a secured place to save money with a monthly interest, receive salaries, or take loans at reasonable rates of interest? Mitanyan Cooperative Credit Union provides you with required quality and affordable financial products and services which will not only meet but exceed your expectations. The services of Mitakul are open for personal accounts as well as Njangi groups, village councils, churches, schools, developmental organizations, clubs, and many more. Mitakul makes it easy to open minor accounts for your children from the day of birth. Mitanyan Cooperative Credit Union has recently launched its Momo Cash service, which allows users to obtain small loans for daily use, either for airtime, data, or even mobile money. After 22 years of existence, Mitakul remains the focal point of the entire Kamkun network in terms of its level of digitalization and exponential growth. Do not be left behind. Become a member of Mitakul today and benefit from all these advantages. Visit our agencies in Yaoundé, Douala Aqua, Bonamusadi, Village, Andobo, Bafusam, Boya, Mamfe, Limbe My 4.5 mile, Pinin, Santa, Bamenda Food Market, or our head office in Bamenda at Sonak Street. We are open every weekday as from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. and 12 noon on Saturday. At Mitakul, save regularly, borrow wisely, and repay promptly.